Gentlemen, my name is Bill Bingham, the GMC dealer in Richmond, Virginia. In the next few minutes, I want to tell you about an experience of mine in facing a problem that I'm sure is common to most of us. I made these remarks originally at the NADA Truck Dealers Convention last May in Atlantic City. Several of the dealers who heard me felt strongly that I should share this experience with the rest of the GMC dealers in hopes that they might benefit from my experience. And so GMC has kindly made this time available today. Here is essentially what I said. It is well recognized that successful merchandising today must be based on a twofold identity: the identity of the brand name and the identity of the retailer who sells it. Identifying the brand and its features is primarily the manufacturer's responsibility. The identity of a dealer is up to the dealer. Well, gentlemen, there was a time when I thought that everyone in Richmond knew Bingham GMC. My father started the business in 1940. I joined him in 1946. We were active in community affairs. We advertised with mostly price ads in newspaper and on radio, all of which we handled ourselves. We had reason to be pleased with our sales and our profits. In 1968, we were forced out of our old location because a new highway was coming through, and my father retired from the business. We weren't in our new location very long before our sales figures, though still good, indicated that we were not well identified here as we wanted to be. The only answer, it seemed to me, was more advertising. So on our own, we stepped up our radio and newspaper ads, still emphasizing price. But the results were disappointing. Obviously, something else had to be done. But what? A friend of mine suggested that what I needed was professional help with my advertising. I'm thankful that I followed his advice. I admit it wasn't easy. The larger ad agencies weren't interested in the budget of a single dealership. We just didn't have enough money to spend. After much searching, I finally located a young ad man, just starting out in his own business, but with fine, creative ideas. Among the first things we did was to conduct a market survey. We contacted 100 people who had recently purchased Ford trucks and 100 who had purchased Chevrolet trucks and asked them several questions. The results were rather surprising. In spite of the fact that Bingham had been selling GMC trucks in Richmond for nearly 30 years, and in spite of the fact that we had consistently advertised on radio and in newspapers, 58% of the Ford truck buyers and 53% of the Chevrolet truck buyers could not name our dealership. Clearly, we had a serious communication gap. But before deciding on a better way to reach our market, we asked the question, exactly what prospects should we be trying to reach? All of us have regular customers with whom we communicate through our sales force. As long as we're making money, it's easy to depend on these friends for our sales. But in today's competitive market, with costs rising as they are, is this enough? No. We need to widen our field of customers, and we have to remember that 70% of the trucks are bought by individuals and small fleets of 5 or less vehicles. The people who are difficult to reach, because they're not sitting in an office waiting for our salesman to call. They're out on the job. What's the best way to reach these prospects? The big 70%? With the results of our survey in hand, our ad agency planned a campaign to tell these individuals and small fleet users where to buy GMC trucks in Richmond. Since our budget didn't allow the use of all media in the volume we needed, we settled on an outdoor billboard campaign. Billboards along the busy truck routes in Richmond. In my city of Richmond, Virginia, one billboard for 30 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, costs less than one 30-second TV spot one time on one station. And what are the chances of a one-truck or small fleet user ever seeing that spot? We needed the best possible exposure, and we got it with outdoor advertising. The results? Our ad campaign started in October 1969, and our sales for the first 6 months of 1970 were 35% over the same period of the previous year. Our sales so far in 1971 are 60% over the same period in 1970, mostly in the individual owner and small business category, which are difficult, if not impossible, for a salesman to hunt down. By the way, our campaign in 1970 won an Addy Award, the Advertising Man's Oscar. Our campaign in general is directed to the local identity of GMC and Bingham. One half of our boards deal with service because our service department is an important sales tool. And since we play it up in our advertising, we make service available for the longest time possible each working day. We don't care whether the customer comes in the back door for service or in the front door to buy a truck, just as long as he comes in. Unless we get to see him, we can't sell him. In addition to the billboards, we use direct mail. Postcards with the same message as the billboards are mailed at 14-day intervals to prospective business firms, mainly 1 or 2 truck users, who have not bought a truck from us in several years, or who don't use our service department. And we always try to keep a good inventory on hand. If delivery on something we don't have becomes an issue, we use the factory pool and other dealers' inventory. Gentlemen, as I said before, Bingham GMC has been in business for 30 years. We advertised. We had every reason to think we were well known, well identified. But like all of you, I want to make my dealership as profitable as possible. When I think of the sales we missed in past years because we hadn't established our identity as GMC Trucks in Richmond, because we didn't get professional help, it makes me shudder. We all need to widen our base of customers. In my case, the ad agency helped me to do this. The exact program we used in Richmond may not work in your area, but professional ad men can tell you what will work. I hope you will let my experience help you. I firmly believe that dealers must set themselves a realistic advertising budget. A lot of expense can be saved if you get professional help right at the start. Let's face it, we're not advertising men. Our business is selling trucks. The truly wise individual is one who knows how much he doesn't know, but knows where to go for the answers.